Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. We interview the world's leading apologists to provide credible answers to curious questions.
Nel, why do you think a lot of women aren't engaged in Christian apologetics?
I think there are several reasons for this. First and foremost, maybe a philosophical one. I think that the turn of Christianity from an objective faith, which was open for examination, this maybe happened during the Enlightenment, to something which becomes more subjective, my personal religious experience, my personal relationship with Jesus, something that I don't necessarily have to defend in any reasonable way. That really resonates with us as women because we are sometimes more subjective and more emotional in our experience. Those things are very important for us. And so I think we really buy into this idea that as long as I'm safe in my subjective religious experience, then I'm okay, then Christianity is good for me. And so in that way, we can avoid the hard questions that come along sometimes. I think we strive first and foremost for emotional stability. If you look at the books that women buy in Christian bookstores, a lot of it has to do with emotional healing, and these sorts of questions tend to come and rock that boat, if you want. And so if we can avoid them, we will. And the church, in the subjective way it presents Christianity nowadays, provides that opportunity for us. We don't have to answer the hard questions because we have our personal religious experience. I also think that, unfortunately, sometimes women are still actively discouraged from an intellectual pursuit of their faith by perhaps saying that the ministries they are best suited for don't really need this. If you're going to be ministering in, for example, charity or mercy work, do you really need, apologetics? I think there are just so many distractions. Perhaps we don't find the time to do the work. We're busy cooking meals and running errands and trying to keep fit and maybe holding down a job, and so we'll say it's just not the time to do the reading or the work involved to really become well versed in apologetics. And lastly, sometimes I think we think that education is only for pragmatic purposes, and so if to engage in any education outside of perhaps what I learn in the church, further reading or further study, if it's not going to bring in some sort of income, then it's not really worth spending my time on right now. So we don't look for opportunities of formal education. So those are some of the reasons. I guess there might be more.